forgot to mention this before I started this whole job, so I'm going to tell you this now and I'm going to edit it to the beginning of the video. So when you are doing this, it's very, very, very important that your motorcycle or engine or whatever you are adjusting the valve clearance on is cold. And when I say cold, I mean it has reached room temperature for over 24 hours. It must be cold. It cannot be, I turned it off 6 hours ago and it's cold to the touch. I'm talking the internals have to have had time to have been cooled for at least 24 hours before you do this job, or you will get an incorrect adjustment and you might blow your engine. So just piece of warning, you know, PSA, I'm not responsible for anything that happens in y'all's garage. This is all just, you know, informational, and if anything happens to you guys, it's on you, so be careful, you know, heed the warnings. Do some Googling, don't use me as your only source of information. Make sure you know what you're doing before you go in deep with a job like this. And one of those things you need to know is, like I stressed in the beginning, you pull your spark plug, so when you're turning it to top dead center, you don't turn the engine over and blow your engine or hurt yourself. Also, like I said, second most important thing, it has to be cold. You must adjust it cold. This bike has been off for 3 or 4 days before I did this job, and it has not been started until just now, until we finished the job, and that's why it got such a perfect adjustment like it did. So just make sure that you stress that. If you don't have time to do it, then wait. You're not going to blow your engine having incorrect valve timing for a couple days. Wait until you have time to do it properly, or you'll do more damage than it is worth. Thank you for your time. Alrighty, we are rocking it with Riceland Garage right here. We are going to be doing the valve clearance adjustment on this here GY6 150cc motorcycle. It's a 4-stroke engine. This applies to any Tappet style valve adjuster. I don't have very long, so we're going to jump right into this here quick video. First things first, 5/8 socket, ratchet, boom. You're going to come over here to your spark plug, pull the valve or the cap off of it. You can go ahead and pull your spark plug right. You got it loosened up, spark plug, boom, out. Bitch is already a little roasted, so I might need to pick up another one later. But yeah, so that's out. Now it's not going to start on me randomly. So next thing I'll do is I'm going to come over here, which that's not the right size, so we're going to get an 8 real quick. You know how it goes, folks. You already know how it goes. I'm going to get this bitch from over here. Alright. Pull the cover off of the crankshaft. Right, and you get the idea. I'm gonna pull that off, right, and then right here I'm gonna get a flathead, and I'm gonna pull this guy off right here, which is your timing cover. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Next thing, I'm gonna get my 12mm. I'm gonna pull these seat bars off right here, so I can remove this seat, and I'm gonna get back to y'all after that. All right, time. Alrighty, so we are back to rocking it. I pulled all that bullshit off, set it aside. Excuse my language. I'm gonna try not to be too crazy on my language today. But I believe that next one is a 15mm, I want to say. No. There we go. Alrighty. Pull this gas tank right here real quick. The squeezers are getting at me pretty rowdy. Don't know if I can make it. Alright, I think we'll put the center stand up real quick so we got some room to work with. Alright. Pull this here gas tank, which I managed to fill it in entirely before I got into this, so you know, I'm genius. So that's fun. The real question is, I don't remember where to put this while I'm working on it, but I'm thinking something like this with some zip ties. You want to hold this for me real quick, Ty, while I grab a zip tie? Thank you, friend. I'm going to show you all how zip ties are used today real quick. It's a good, valuable lesson to have on my here garage channel. The industrial use of zip ties. Very nice. Zip ties, yes, Ty, very nice.
Very good. Very good.
Alright, just hold on to that for me while I zip tie all this goodness together. It's a very valuable lesson, you know, for y'all viewers out there. Subscribe to me if you like zip ties. I know I like zip ties. you look at that. You can let go of that now, my friend. And that'll be alright right there. Boom. If it falls, you know what? Screw it. Okay. So now we're going to take off this here engine mount on the side. You want to give me right quick, Ty? Here's your valve cover. That's where everything's going to be happening on the Magic. We're going to take this here valve cover off, but to get there, first I got to move these here cables and sensors, take off this here bracket. So I'm going to get to that. Y'all get the idea. I believe it's a 12 millimeter. Pop these off. Engine sitting on the lower mount. Don't take the lower mount off, please, for the love of God. I'm not responsible for any errors y'all have, so, you know, keep it smart, keep it rocking. This is just purely educational, you know. So I'm going to get to that, and we'll get back to rocking, alright? Now, you're going to take this here 12 millimeter. Now that all this shit is zip tied clear out of the way, if you can see, tank is off, all this engine mount shit off, top engine mount's gone. Now we can access our valve cover. So on anything that you're working on, you gotta access the valve cover, simple as that. That's all we did so far. And basically now we're gonna get into the real part of the job, actually adjusting the valve clearance. So get our trusty 10 millimeter socket right here, man's best friend. We go come down here to this here valve cover. And remember, your spark plug is out. The engine cannot start. You need to make sure that you followed that step, or right now you might just be screwing yourself. So remember that. Alright. Take this here valve cover off. Loosen the bolts up and such. Alright, nice and loose. And then I'm basically going to pull that valve cover, I'm going to pull the gasket, and I'm going to get my feeler gauge, and I'm going to take some measurements, and then I'll get back to y'all, and I'll give y'all a demonstration of how to do said measurements. And yeah, anything else I need to cover right here? I'm also going to be setting this to top dead center. I'll show y'all how to do that in a moment. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this here socket wrench, I'm going to get a socket, I'm going to turn the crankshaft, remember spark plug is out. I'm going to turn the crankshaft clockwise until my timing mark appears on this here opening. It'll have a T and a little line that'll match up with this here line. That's how you know you're at top dead center of the compression stroke of the engine. So that means that it will be at top dead center, the valves will be closed and the lifters and rocker arms open and free. And if they're not free and open, whenever you turn it, you'll turn it 360 degrees in the same direction, because it is a 4-stroke. It has to be on the compression stroke, not on the exhaust stroke. So it's easy to mess that up. So just pay attention when you do that, and everything will be all right. I'll get back to y'all momentarily. Riceland Garage. Alrighty guys, so I pulled this here valve cover off with those 4 bolts, jimmied it off. These here are your valves. You got your intake side, your exhaust valve side. The way to tell is by looking. Your exhaust pipe is on this side, so these will be your exhaust valves. Your intake is on this side, so those will be your intake valves. I have not yet adjusted it to top dead center, so y'all get to watch me do that. I'm gonna take my ratchet. Remember, so your spark plug is no longer in here. It will not start. So now you're just gonna crank this bitch over clockwise until you reach your timing mark. Am I in gear? I might be in gear. Hold on. Alright, I'm in neutral. Cool. I had to check that real quick. Let's see shit. And I missed it. Alright, so there it is. Rocker arms are solid, so that means I need to go 360 degrees in the same direction. It's going to try and fly by me, so I'm going to have to be really careful. But it's really important you get that timing mark just right. she is. Perfect. And check it. You hear that? Nice free play. No rigidness. It's at top dead center of the compression stroke. You want to make sure, if you'll let me see that, I'm going to go ahead and take that camera. And if you'll look down in there, you see that timing mark? It's perfectly lined up with the mark on the engine. That's important. And if you'll look, your rocker valves are now free. So I'm going to be measuring the gap between that space right there where that rocker valve meets. Thank you, sir. So now, next thing, you get your feeler gauge. You grab that real quick. And you get your motorcycle oil. Alrighty, so we're back. Riceland Garage, kicking it right here. Got this valve cover open. You're going to take your feeler gauge at whatever valve clearance it is. On this Tappet style, you loosen the lock nut, you adjust the adjuster, right? And if you look real close, Ty, come on in here. There's a space between the Tappet adjuster and the valve. And you're just going to slide your feeler gauge in there, if you can see. And you're just going to gap it out so there's a light drag. This one is a little bit less of a drag than I would like, so we're going to adjust that. So you use your handy dandy valve tappet adjuster you got here on Amazon or eBay or whatever, and you come in here and you loosen that lock nut first. Oh yeah, loosen it, baby. So you loosen your lock nut there, and then you play a little bit of fiddle with this flashlight in the mouth, so I can't talk, but y'all are gonna get the idea. All right. And yeah, it's easy as that. So when you're done, you slide your gapper down here and you double check, and if it's not right where you want it, you adjust again. And I'm gonna do that to all four, and then I'm gonna start closing all this up, and I'll get back to y'all when I'm done adjusting these four. So yeah, got it with Riceland Garage back in here. I have finished adjusting all of these. They're within nice spec, nice little amount of drag on the feeler gauge, so everything's nice and locked up. Another important tip: when you're tightening exhaust and intake valves on tiny valves, always buy one of these tools. I find myself not using them to do the adjustment as much. I like to use my fingers to get it right, but it's helpful because you use the wrench to tighten, so you hit it just in spec, but without over tightening and snapping a bolt, but not so loose that it vibrates off. You want about 6 to 8 foot-pounds. One of these is really helpful in attaining that. So now, all that's left is I have to take my valve cover, and I gotta put this guy back on. So I'm gonna slap that guy back on real quick, like so. Alrighty. Now valve cover, and it goes on this way. Which, if I remember correctly, I have to go in from this side. Kind of jimmy it on. Try not to scratch the shit out of my engine. And there she goes. So now I just pop that there gasket back into the valve cover. Put the valve cover back where it sits. Get my bolts, hand thread them. And after I'm done threading these, so essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to torque these down. You can use your torque wrench if you'd like. You want those at about, I'd say 12 to 16 foot-pounds. And you torque and you tighten up your valve cover. You're going to put your timing cover back on, you know, simple stuff. Pop that guy back on. You're gonna put your timing cover back on, boom, right here. Make sure you get your bolts torqued down, probably be about 3 or 4 foot-pounds. Just enough to not vibrate off, y'all. I mean, come on. And then after that, so you want to put all your engine components back together. Do not put your spark plug back in until you are done and completed and ready to go. And after that, put your gas tank back on, you put your seat back on, side fairings back on, simple enough. The important thing about your feeler gauge, make sure your spec is right. This had an exhaust valve clearance of 0.06 millimeters. You want to get a good feeler gauge, bend it to where you get a nice gauge of what you're actually dragging upon, you know, when you're hearing your scraping noise. And always remember, put a thin layer of oil on it before you start doing that so you don't scratch any of your engine components, and so it gets a little bit of a thicker layer on it, you know, so you get a nice readable adjustment. And that's pretty much all I got for y'all. Subscribe to my account, let me know for more videos. I got that Nissan over there, that 98. We're gonna be doing more videos on that, follow up soon. If y'all like the video, if y'all like what I'm doing here, you know, subscribe, let me know, give me some ideas of what y'all like to see. You know, I do suspension, brakes, you know, this car, I'm not doing any engine work, you know, V6s are a pain in the ass to do, but I do all kinds of stuff. I just did an oil pan on this car right here, did an oil pressure sensor. So y'all just let me know what's up, hit my likes, hit my subscribe. We got Riceland Garage here, just starting out. Still filming on phones, but hey, so I'll give y'all a video when I get this bitch started back up, and we'll see how it sounds, see if that exhaust misfire is gone. So yeah, y'all stay tuned. Alrighty, so after all that, got it all adjusted, got the tank back on, side fairing seat all back on. First initial startup, let's see what's up. Alright, well, you know, simple, easy video. If y'all got any questions, hit the comments. You know, I'm always there to answer y'all's questions. Y'all let me know what's up. I work a shitload, so if I don't get back to you, that's my fault, but I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Y'all let me know what's up. Hit subscribe, like. I'll bring y'all more in-depth stuff in the future. Me and Ty Boy here, we're on a time crunch today. So this is just a quick, easy intro and how it all works, you know, how Tappet style valves work and how to adjust them. You know, or how to at least check and make sure they're in spec, you know. Anybody can do this at home with just simple hand tools. Only tools we used today was a magnetic pickup tray. And if you come over here, Ty, I mean, you got a feeler gauge set with little blades. We had some off so we wouldn't get destroyed. Talking, you know, zip ties to move stuff out of the way. I mean, we're talking simple stuff here, you know. So I just hope I was able to help y'all. Y'all let me know what's up. Y'all, like I say, y'all subscribe. You know, Riceland Garage. We do Asian stuff, you know, little mopeds, cars, all kinds of stuff. Y'all just let me know what's good.